Hello, this is a tutorial about how to use Tokio Console with your asynchronous Rust projects that use Tokio as the asynchronous executor. So this is a project made by the Tokio team to make it easier to trace and debug your asynchronous runtime tasks. So it's a very simple tool. It's very simple to integrate with any asynchronous projects you have. This is literally just everything you need to do in your code to make it available. I'll do a tutorial anyway just to show you how easy it is. So we're going to go to our terminal here. So I'll create a new project. What should I call it? Just Tokio Console tutorial. There we go. Let's go into that then. So some things just to make it easier. Obviously we'll need Tokio. Let's make it so we need the macros, we need RT, and we need the tracing feature, which is required according to this post here. So we need to do this. Add that, there we go. And add so it makes like, might as well use requests as well to make things easy. Go, let's try that as well. Okay, so we should have those in our, yes we do, request in Tokio. So let's open our project and let's use this, shall we? So let's first add the Tokio main attribute to our main function. And make our main function asynchronous. Oh dear. So as you can see there, the default runtime flavor is multi-thread, but we need to add the RT multi-threaded feature. So let's just do that. So let's just do Tokio features RT multi-thread. There we go. Save again, should refresh everything. So we're going to use request to a API called this, well, it's just a JSON placeholder one. So it'll just request the JSON and we get the JSON back. So this is all the URL we want, just this URL here. So we take this, go down here, you simply use the get function from request to just make a simple get request. Paste in. Ah, right, okay. There we go. Then we have to await it because it's sort of synchronous function. And let's just unwrap that icon. Okay. So now we have this request variable here with our response. Response. Let's just rename this to response. Click out. We can just use this response, go on this unwrap, get the text, and wait that as well. We need to unwrap this again. Yes, we do. So this response becomes a string, and we can simply print this string out to the console. So let's quickly run that, shall we? Just do run. There we go. So this is the response from the API endpoint. So what if we wanted to do, just say if there was a really long asynchronous task that wasn't working or was taking much longer than it should be. So let's add the console subscriber crate made by the Tokio team. Console dash subscriber. There you go. And while we're here, we should probably install Tokio Console binary. So we can do that with cargo install Tokio Console. I only have it installed, but if you want to install it, just do this command. Now, let me just quickly enter tmux, enter this again. Let's go into our main RS. And all we need to do is type in console subscriber init, like that. And that what that should do is once we run this, we have to pass it. If we go back on here, we have to pass these Rust flags here. So if we just copy that and do cargo run, should build that. Has to recompile all the crates because the Rust flag we passed, and it means we have to recompile all Tokio and all of its dependencies, which includes request. Well, request isn't the dependency, but request depends on Tokio, which means it will have to recompile because Tokio recompiled. So once our full project has recompiled, we go. So it still works like normal. Let's just add a loop onto the end of this so we okay. Here we go. Now let's create a new pane here and let's just use Tokio Console to view it. There we go. So you can see the state of these, they're all stopped because, you know, we just did one. You can see how it shows you the amount of time it took. Let me just zoom out so you can see anything. You see how much time it took, how many polls it took, how many polls there were, the ID and everything. Let's make a more realistic scenario. Okay, so instead of just one post, what if you want to get, say, 100 posts? So let's go in here, go one, and we want to let's say we want to, in this new Tokyo spawn, we could, let's say we want to get the 100 posts here. So let's take this and go into here. And let's do that. And let's just make it, you know, let's make it sleep. Like a second each time. And like let's what we can do here and actually is put all this in a loop. Actually in a for loop we can do. So we can do for 0 for I in 0 to 100, let's say. Go in here, this. Instead of posts 1, we can just do posts, well, we have to do format macro, and there, and then just put I in there. So what this should do is it could go from 1 to 100, post 1 to 100, make the request, make an individual request for each post. It's not the most efficient way of doing it, but you could do that, and sleep for 1 second each time afterwards. So if we come back here, and it should work. Well, of course, we need to make sure that the actually ends. So handle, handle. This should be, yeah, join handle. Oh, you want to loop until the handle is finished, so we can do loop in here. And if handle is finished, break. That. So what this does is it waits till for this handle to finish all of its jobs, and then it breaks this loop, and then it should quit the program. So we come back here, run it. There we go. And while it's running, we can come down here and go to Tokio Console. See all these tasks coming up now. So we come zoom out. There we go. And we can see all these new tasks being made and the IDs and the state of it here as it's currently going through it. Total amount of time it's being used. These different small tasks are probably request. Oh, it's hyper, so it's being used by request probably. And this is how many times it was polled, etc., etc. So it's a good, useful tool to be able to find out, what asynchronous task is taking a long time. Should it be taking that long? Why is it taking that long, etc. You can use it with some other crates like logging, like log or an envlog or these other logging crates to further improve your debugging experience with Tokio asynchronous runtimes or the Tokio asynchronous runtime. And yeah, I think that's been a good tutorial on the Tokio Console. If you wanted to check out the Tokio Console project, it's right here. Goes through the whole process. It basically just covers everything I went through in this video, how to install it, how to run it, different example use case and everything. And this article here by the Tokyo team themselves, I will link this both in the description, at least both these links in the descriptions. You can view them at your pleasure. Of course, I will also leave this here just for testing if you want to use this. So I hope you've enjoyed. So I hope you've enjoyed. This has been a tutorial on how to use Tokio Console. I hope you find it useful. There is probably many other things you can do with this, and it's very much in early stages. You see, it's only 0.1, and that was in 2021. Let me actually see what the version of is on this one. Yeah, still 0.1. And there's still active development going on. So the latest commit was 22 days ago. Maybe there's a PR that's more updated. 16 days ago. There we go. So hopefully it's being actively updated by the Tokyo team. If it isn't, well, unfortunate, but it's very useful to use this if you need to test your application. For example, I'm using it in my company's thing called Code Control. So we're actually using it in the GUI part of it to test how long it takes each request to the backend server. The server here, despite I need to get rid of this one, but this server here, the GUI makes requests to it. So if you go to lib, leave it is, yeah, there we go. So console subscriber init on the main in the GUI. There we go. And that's an example use case where it might be useful to test how it's getting used, where it's taking its time. Because in a GUI you want things to be fast and snappy. If something's taking forever to do something, it's taking forever to load. This is useful to debug and tell where it's going wrong. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this. Please subscribe, leave a comment, see if there's anything I missed, if there's anything you want me to cover in the future, and I hope you enjoyed.